And the kids would say, I'll remember this day forever when Queen Elizabeth...
What they were actually saying as well at one of those instances, though, Donald, is that the 10 kids didn't actually come back at all. They just were never seen again.
Yeah.
Yeah? So they were inferring that they were killed, basically, yeah?
There was a bunch of that, but sometimes it was just a few out of the group that were brought into the woods, and then they just never came back. But some of the kids that were in that group got returned to the school and just, they have never heard or seen those kids again.
Would any of those kids gone to a facility underground, do you reckon, Donald?
It's possible, feeding lizards. People have been sneaking lizards kids for centuries now.
Did you manage to get any reply off Kenneth Annett?
Yeah, he...
Or did he think you were just going so far left field that he just couldn't believe it?
That could have been it. I understand his position, though. Like, he's got his thing. It's all lined up and prepared. He can't start talking about clones and lizards now and mess it all up, right? Like, he might have been able to take them all down with what he had. But,
I know he has talked about the Picton Farm thing. I know he's definitely mentioned that, by the way.
Yeah, I told him some of that, yeah. Yeah, but Queen Elizabeth and Ratzinger are not in prison yet, so, I don't think, and he won his court case and everything. Nothing happened. Yeah. So,
So, you see, my view on all of this, again, is that people like Ratzinger got into... A lot of people are sort of like questioning the fact that he's... A lot of people in this truther movement, shall I say, are saying the fact that Ratzinger has resigned is a good sign and we're on a good point here because it's falling down. And my view is that he was always meant to be in power, even with his background with the Nazi side of him. The whole thing's been orchestrated. He was always meant to be there anyway. And the fact that he's resigned now has been orchestrated to a certain extent in some way too. I'm a bit suspicious about all of this, is all I'm going to say, Donald, and I've said this a few times on my show. I just feel sometimes we're still being orchestrated to some extent. I don't know if you've got any views on that, but it's just the way I feel.
Yeah, it's all set up. From the Pharisees, they're setting up prophecy stuff to happen. And I guess this is the part where the last Pope comes in.
Yeah,
right?
The Black Pope?
Well, there's another one. There's the head of the Jesuits is the Black Pope. And then they got this new Pope here, and now they're saying that he's a Black Pope as well. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because I was led to believe that within the Illuminati there was two factions that have been fighting over each other for hundreds of years. The Second World War, the Russian Revolution, that's the Zionist Jews and the Odin Aryan race, or the Fourth Reich, if you like. But this you're going to come together.
You're right.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, you're right, but there's more factions though. There's like just even the Chinese Triad faction, the Japanese Yakuza faction. Then there's all the other governments, and they pretty much, some of them are allied in the same faction, some of them aren't. Some of them are independent. There's a bunch of different factions though, but they were all collected into it, and most of them don't even want to be there, and they're all hoping that I do something. Like, they're telling me that I'm being slack, saying, you're not doing enough, darling. Get out there. You need to sing a song on camera. I said, no, I don't want to sing a song.
A lot of people, I know, will be thinking the same thing. How come you know so much about all of this? I mean, as far as what you said is you're a songwriter that's been, and I understand what you said about how you've been infiltrated in there as being a songwriter to try and escape what could have happened to you, and you started doing the song type. But how come you seem to know so much about all of it?
I'll tell you all about it. It's easily to explain. When I was a little kid, what was the most exciting thing there? Like, this kid that made all the cool songs, right? Like, wait till you hear about the amount of songs. It's absurd. It's going to make me look like some kind of freak. But when I was there, people like Vladimir Putin, he wants to get up and talk and interact in front of all the celebrities that are there. So he'll be up and he'll say, we have this technology, look at what we can do, right? And then they're all, it was like they were trying to show off by showing me what they could do and what they had and stuff. And then I was a member, right?
Yeah.
I was never a member. I was always trying to deceive them until the day I could destroy them. And, but I faked being a friend. So then they're like, look what we can do. And everybody's showing me different things. And then Elizabeth's, well, we have this. And they're showing me all this stuff. And then with how good I did the songs and stuff, people wanted me to give them advice on political bullshit. Because they said that I thought outside the box. And that I gave them an option that they hadn't even thought of in the past. Like, with a certain situation, they said I thought outside the box. So I was talking to them all. They're all asking me different points for advice and stuff. A little kid. And I would give it, and it got worse and worse. It was like the songs. I would give them good ideas for stuff, and they would do it. And they just kept on coming back. And then everybody's getting annoyed with Elizabeth's croak at the cloning center because she's talking all the time. So then Vladimir will stand up. Yes, I'm going to do this and oh man. And Medvedev's there too. And China and Russia are the worst too. China and Russia are the worst too. They think if everything goes my way, that they're going to be like villainized.
Some of us believe that we hear about all these so-called problems between certain countries with regards to Russia, America, Great Britain, China, whatever. And a lot of us think that the people that rule this world, there isn't any barriers, that there isn't any fighting really. They're all in it together. It's all pretend, all these so-called disputes between these countries.
You are right for the most part, but then sometimes problems will spring up. And they can spring up so easy.
But do they work together mainly, though, would you say, as a rule, those people?
Oh, totally.
One big thing, yeah?
Yep, but see, all the celebrities there, they all show off for the celebrities so bad. It's like if one Asian leader there makes fun of another Asian leader there and makes them look stupid in front of, like, Brangelina, you know, they get pissed. And they start saber rattling, they call it. And I'll do this to you, I'll do this to you. We have this, we'll use this, right? And then it's a big thing, and then it's a big drama there. You got to talk it down. The richest people in the world are the heads of religious sects, right? Because they've been getting donations for thousands of years. They've been getting the golden jewels for thousands of years. They're the richest people. So basically, they buy people. They buy people's loyalty and ensure their loyalty with fear of man-made hell, death after death as phones. It's a really good deterrent from talking. But since they said they were going to do that to me anyway, I got nothing to lose. Because when they were going on with the Jesus talk, trying to say I was Jesus, there was a bunch of people there that were saying, well, we're Luciferians, and Lucifer wants us to get Jesus and torture him in the next century. And we'll get as a devotion to our God, and we'll get good luck and good fortune for doing it. And they call it fleecing the lamb. So then I was kind of worried.
With regards to, a lot of us are being told that if a lot of us sort of emphasize this positive energy within us, and we try and counteract all of this by feeling positive and feeling good and giving out this really good energy. Have you got any views on that?
Good intentions. World's built on good intentions, but the destruction of the world will be the complacency of people.
Right.
Just sitting there and going, I hope everything works out.
So it's all about action. It's all about getting out there, doing something to change this and turn it all around, which is what we're trying to do at Critical Mass Radio. Right.
I wonder, Donald, here's a good question for you. Now, you talked about the Vril, the reptilians, and you talked about the Illuminati. But what about the outside influences of ET from other places that are actually visiting Earth, interacting with our governments? Did they have a say in the matter?
Oh yeah, they say that there is something out there, but I'm not sure if there is. They showed me Vril Type 3 looking thing. It was brown. It had 4 buck teeth. Okay, they called it a Zeta Reticulum, and I don't know if that's just a gene spliced Vril Type 3, like to look a little bit different.
Well, in 2001, they had at the press club in Washington, they had a big UFO conference, and Sergeant Stone said that he had catalogued, you know, he had the highest clearance. He had catalogued 50, the American government had catalogued 57 different types of alien species that were visiting or had been to the Earth. Whether they were coming from the inner Earth or whatever, you know, or from outside or different dimensions or God knows what else, you know, different timelines.
Thing with that is, sometimes they get people there as clones and they try to mess them up. They say, look, we have this turkey thing. It's a turkey, it's an evolved turkey. It comes from the Orion Nebula, whatever. It's just a splice thing with someone's consciousness barely running it coherently, right?
Yeah.
They have, oh, there's another thing. There's an evolved kind of turtle. It's called a kappa. Lives underneath Japan. They're protecting them there because, I don't know. They wrote about them all in the old woodblock prints and stuff, but they're not as smart as lizards, and they're not a threat at all. They're just, and they're not parasitic. They don't body snatch. They're evolved turtles, I guess. Like, I never even talked about them that much because they're not really relevant to, well, they're relevant, but like the stuff that I've told people about is hard to fathom enough that I'm going to add in evolved turtles. Like,
yeah, I understand. Yeah.
You mentioned Japan. A lot of people, this Benjamin Fulford, for one, has been saying this, that the tsunami that hit Japan was caused by a nuclear bomb that was planted under the seabed deliberately.
Yep, I was there when it was going down. Kim Jong-il wanted to get Japan before he died. He always wanted to get Japan. Korea's hated Japan since like 1300s or something. Japan was always trying to invade the mainland. Anyway, so it's an ancient hatred. Kim Jong-il wanted to get Japan before he died. He actually wanted to nuke them, but you have to have permission from the Illuminati to do big things like this. And he set off that nuke underneath the seafloor and started.
So it was a nuke, right? That's what you're saying it was.
I'm not sure if it was a nuke or if it was a HARP controlled by their country or whatever, but they caused it. Kim Jong-il caused it without permission. He asked, "Can I do this to Japan?" And they said, "No, you can't. That'll cause too much destruction in the world. All the nuclear stuff. No, the coast has the nuke things on there." He did it anyway.
Fukushima, where it was built, was so like unbelievably such a danger zone. Anyway, apart from that, was that all orchestrated too? No,
they just only have so many places to put the things. Like you might have noticed that Kim died right after that. They made him have an aneurysm. They put the electricity to his clone, but they didn't give him no pain. He got a shot of heroin when he got his electrical current put to his clone. And he had an aneurysm. His son takes over. He doesn't care. Kim is still kicking around as an undead clone. He was pretty crazy. He's a pretty crazy person. The whole country over there is pretty whack.
So in a way then, what Benjamin Fulford was saying was true then, yeah?
I'm not sure everything that he said.
But he said he was actually, as you said, what is it, the group that he was supposed to be. I don't think he was with them. I think he was with the White Dragon Society. Yeah, and they were opposed to the other lot.
He's with a specific one called the Yamaguchi Gumi.
Yeah, are they the white, like the white hats, if you like?
They're the most powerful Yakuza guys, and they lord over the other Yakuza guys. But
he worked for Forbes magazine, and he ended up in Japan as you know, one of the main guys there, and he's done all this digging, and he's people have entrusted him, and that's how he's got this high-tech information. And he said that the tsunami was going to happen, and Mount Fujiyama. He forecasted them before they actually happened, so either they had prior knowledge to it.
China doesn't like how advanced Japan is. Japan's infrastructure is way better than theirs and everything. China is very jealous of
The story Benjamin Fulford put out there was that from the Second World War, Japan wanted their money back. It was trillions of dollars, and he wouldn't give them that back. And he said, keep on about it, we're going to do something about it. That's the story Benjamin Fulford put across. that they